Hello, low ego action heroes. This is Debbie Levitt from DeltaCX.com, and something I hear quite often is, hey, I'm trying to get my first CX or UX job, but this junior, associate, entry-level job, or even sometimes an internship is expecting me to have a year or more of experience. This is an impossible paradox. How am I supposed to get my first work experience if I can't get my first work experience? And normally the question comes up of, is there gatekeeping? Is there some great conspiracy to try to keep you from getting a job? And of course, my answer is no. There is no conspiracy to keep you from getting a job. These jobs exist. Someone will get them. Nobody wants to keep you out of a job. But some companies have standards, and they have changed their standards over time. Let's take a look at how we got here. So some years ago, there was a huge demand for UX workers, and there weren't many qualified UX workers. This meant that salaries went up, and workers could pick pretty much any job they wanted because they had the power. Then boot camps got wise and said, ooh, let's meet that demand and let's graduate lots of people fairly quickly so we can say, hey, we have trained UX workers who are ready to do your jobs. But the problem was that most of the boot camps, being for-profit things, very few of them have any standards for who they let in. They let in anybody who can figure out a way to pay for it. And very few of them have standards for the work that you do. From what I hear from talking to many of you, very few of you heard your work was bad. Very few of you heard you weren't doing that quite right. Very few of you heard, you don't seem to totally understand personas. Let's go over this again. And it sounds like pretty much everybody got their certificate, whether or not their work was good. This means that companies started seeing a lot of people trying to get into jobs whose work didn't look that good. I'm not saying your work is bad. I haven't seen your work. I'm just saying in general, over the whole bell curve. Now, if I'm a company and I'm trying to hire people and I'm getting an increased number of applications from people who seem unqualified or not ready for their first job or something like that, I've got to come up with some sort of standard that keeps these people either from applying or from getting through some of my first screening or reviews, because I might be getting 200, 500 resumes or applications for a job. The easiest thing to do is to raise your standards and to say, we've got mission critical work here. We expect someone to hit the ground running, not someone who might be guessing or is still learning or figuring this out. So we think you need to have real work experience before you come and work here. Now, I'm not going to say that's right, that's wrong. I think in general what we need to think of, especially if we want to have empathy, because we have empathy, right? We have empathy for companies who have serious work that they need done. And it's great that they're open to a junior candidate, but they've decided that doesn't mean they're open to somebody who has no experience ever. So I can understand that. I can understand their desire to bring someone in who already has some experience, but to give a relative newbie a chance. There's still something nice about that. But then the question is, well, what are we supposed to do in between? I don't have a great answer for that yet. I said this was the year to 2020 when I'm recording this, that boot camps would change or die. Many of them died. Some didn't change. Some of them are still pretty bad. I think it's going to take a little while longer to redefine education. I'm hoping in 2021 we see someone coming out with some sort of educational approach that truly gets people job ready, so that jobs will say, oh, well, the people who came through from this school really are qualified. So they don't have to have any real work experience, or maybe they got that real work experience at their school or something like that. I'm going to be pushing the apprenticeship model that I've been working on. I'm hoping companies will try the apprenticeship model, which of course is designed for people who have no work experience. So I'm hoping we'll see more change in 2021, but please know there isn't gatekeeping, but there are standards. And I believe the standards are there mostly to correct for boot camps releasing endless people out into the job market without ever really having had their own standards at these programs of who should be accepted into the program and who shouldn't be, who should graduate and who shouldn't. How come none of us know anyone who failed out of UX school? It did not happen. Everybody got their certificate and a trophy. Hey, when I got out of college, I applied to 2 graduate schools and they both turned me down. That's a thing. That's okay. That can happen. Sent me in a different direction, and I'm glad it did. But so not everything it's not your fault. You're not a failure. It's just going to take some more time for you to keep learning, keep practicing, keep leveling up so that you can show the skill and proficiency that will impress an employer, whatever standard they've set up. And they're going to change. Employers move the goalposts and they'll move them again. That's all I can tell you. So hopefully that's helped. Thanks for watching, and of course, please subscribe to the Delta CX channel if you're interested in CX and UX topics. Please press the like button if this has helped you at all or you want to pass it on to other people. And of course, you can join our Slack workspace, totally free, deltacx.link, which is my URL shortener, /join Slack, all one word lowercase. Thanks, and see you in the next video.